As the year 2026 is upon us, it got me to thinking about my life. So I wanted to write a note to self. Here it is. It really wasn't a bad thing that our car broke down on the trip from Iowa to Oklahoma in '58. The years we spent in Mark I, Missouri would build character in many ways I couldn't have imagined. We lived in an old cabin out in the woods. No running water, no electricity, only candlelight. Those hard days for a 3-year-old became the litmus test for everything that followed. The people who helped us mattered. The McCormicks who ran a sawmill nearby, the local church that helped meet our needs, and our many friends along the way meant everything to us. Our only transportation was a tractor a farmer would loan us. So when my father would go into town to the store, my older brother and I would ride standing on the axles, crossing creeks, climbing hills, rattling down the gravel road into town on that tractor. Those rides were rare moments of connection with a father who was usually too busy trying to provide for us. 3 years after starting our journey to Grandma's house, we finally made it. We stayed in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma for about 4 years before returning back to Iowa, Randolph, Iowa to be precise. Curiosity often guided me, for better or worse. When my mother asked me to pick up a box of Kotex from the local store when I was 8, my curiosity got the best of me. Opening the box wasn't the problem. Tearing them apart to see what they were made of probably was. Some lessons were lighter, others weren't. Saturday, September 23rd, 1967, is a date etched into my memory. I watched my father die when I was only 11 years old. That image has never faded. For many years I carried anger towards the town of Randolph and the tree company responsible. But holding on to that anger only weighed me down. Forgiveness didn't erase the memory, but it allowed me to keep moving forward. Leaving that town helped. We moved to a small community nearby where a family friend entered our lives. Eventually, he and my mother fell in love and married. At the time, all of us kids resisted the change. Looking back, I see what mattered most. My mother was happy. I quit school in the 12th grade, no excuses. I thought it was boring. I moved into my first apartment, married young, and joined the Army. 2 months into basic training, I received a real Dear John letter. She wanted a divorce so she could marry someone else. It hurt, but it also taught me that life rarely unfolds as planned. What the service did teach me was this: people all over the world are different, yet we share the same goal: to build a better life for our families. If I could change one thing, it would have been robbing that store with a couple friends of mine. That single decision cost me time, money, and most importantly, the trust of people I loved, especially my mother. The disappointment in her eyes stayed with me far longer than any sentence ever could have. I met a woman who was 3 months pregnant, and I loved her enough that it didn't matter. So I was there when our daughter, Billy Joe, was born. We later married and welcomed our son, John. We built a happy life together until everything fell apart. On April 29th, 1990, I was told my daughter had been kidnapped. For 10 days, our family lived in terror. When the truth finally came out that my wife and her parents were behind it, I was left trying to process something that still defies understanding. My children and I moved to Colorado. I found work and the kids went to school. Life was steadied again. During one spring break, while the kids were visiting their mom, I faced my own battle, alcohol. I went to AA, worked the 12 steps, and on March 22nd, 1992, I had my last drink. When my kids came back home, they noticed the difference immediately. Recovery changed not just my life, but theirs too. Now, after moving back to Iowa, I met Jeannie at Parents Without Partners dance. She loved my children and they loved her. That mattered more to me than anything. We married our blended lives together and welcomed our daughter Jessica. Life felt full again. My son grew up, served in the Army, married, and became a father himself. Then, on June 22nd, 2018, he was killed in a motorcycle accident. The loss is immeasurable, and the grief still remains whole. If there is one thing I would tell my younger self, it is this. Life will break you at times, but it will also rebuild you in ways you can't imagine. Love deeply, forgive often, and never forget where you came from.